Hey everybody, short little video here. On my 2015 Mazda 3, the upper shock mount broke, which is this. So I had to change it. That and the shock. I'm so seems like an easy job. There's just two bolts that hold this up in the car. I don't know if you can see it, but just two bolts, and then there's the bolt on the bottom. You can see it there. Simple enough, right? Okay, well, here's the issue. The big issue is that that's not really like a normal bolt. You see the end of that thing? That's like an 8mm wrench, and there is no way you are going to take that out of there with an 8mm wrench. No way. It goes all the way back into there. That's where it's threaded into. And it's frozen. My car is about 8 years old. I live in Northwest Pennsylvania, and, rust and salt, not good. And the big issue is this bushing here, steel bushing, it goes inside. That's what's on the actual bolt. And you're not moving this thing either. You're not getting that off the bolt easily. What I ended up having to do, I disconnected the two bolts up top, 12mm. They were pretty easy. And then what I ended up doing, because there was no way I was going to turn that out, I tried and it started to round, that 8mm wrench. So what I did, I got my torch and I started heating this up some. Actually, what really helped, I heated this a little bit and actually got the rubber to start to, well, I guess it started to burn a little bit. There's no way to around it. And I was able to move the shock a little bit back and forth. And what I ended up doing is just taking the whole shock and pulled it off. I was able to do it even with that spring in the way. But anyways, once you get that shock off and that piece of rubber, then all you have is that bushing there. And the bushing's not even made to really turn, I don't think, because it's got kind of some divots in it. I don't know if you can see it here or not, but on the bolt you'll see it. But anyways, then you can get like a pair of vice grips on that bushing, and then you can actually get a grip, and you actually the whole bolt turned out with the bushing on it. That was the hard part. That was a victory right there in itself. And so once you get the bolt out, then you can take it to a vise, put like a long. What I ended up doing was getting a long socket. Bolt sticks out pretty far, and I had that hex end sitting down the ground. I heated this up, put the bolt on top, or the socket on top, and I got it really hot. I only had propane, but it got hot enough. I didn't have MAP gas or a real torch, and I was able to pound that down after I got it pretty warm. Then basically just brush the thing up, brush it up, put it back in. Putting that thing on is a 5-minute job. Taking it off, it's about an hour or so. So, yeah, so my advice is get this thing brushed up really good. Brush it up, get some heat on it, and then be careful because there's a gas tank back here. Don't be stupid and do anything crazy. But, get some heat on that. Get that shock off of there. Heat that up enough so you can get the rubber so you can pull the shock right off and wiggle it out. Just get the shock out of the way and the rubber, then you'll have that bushing on that bolt. Heat that up, and hopefully you can drive it off of there. Then you should be good. But I was going to do two sides, but the other side wasn't broke, so I'm not going to monkey with that until I have to, because it's a bitch. And I can always do it later. I'll live to fight another day. But that's it. That's my advice for you. If you think this is going to be a 5-minute job, all the videos I saw on YouTube for Mazda 3 shock changes, this bolt was like a real bolt. It had a hex head on it. You can get a real wrench on it. It was even, and that was simple. That is a 5-10 minute job. But not with an 8mm head on it. That's stupid. That's a crazy type of design. I don't know why they did it that way. But yeah, you're not getting that, you're not twisting that out without some heat and you know, getting on that bushing with a pair of vice grips or a pipe wrench even, but there's not a whole lot of room to work. But channel locks or something, I was able to get a good grip and get it to move, and then you're home free basically. So yeah, I think that's a 19 millimeter, and the bolts on one side I think were 12 millimeter and maybe 14 on the other for up top. Not a bad job if you can just get that bolt out. That's it. Hope this helped somebody. I wish I'd have seen it before I started.